In the horological hustle of 2025, where Rolex resale riots and Omega hype hurricanes hog the headlines, a rogue alliance of rebels rises. Watches that pulverize popular brands with precision, panache, and pocket-friendly prowess, delivering 90% of the prestige at 20% the price. Per Chrono 24 flips, 15-40% ROI, and R Watches raves for Silicon Springs and 80-hour reserves. From Orient's Bambino thrift to Grand Seiko's Snowflake sorcery, these 10 watches beat all popular brands' spotlights, steel-worthy saviors that outshine Rolex rigidity, Omega ostentation, and Tag Heuer trends with Japanese jewel and Swiss subtlety. Ranging 150 by 9Ks, these picks fueled by a 30% value surge, Statista forecast, crush crowd pleasers like Submariner stiffness, waitlist woes, or Speedmaster sameness, overhyped heritage. Skip the status, strap in for the symphony where every sweep scripts superiority. Let's crown the conquerors one coaxial at a time. Number 10. Orient Bambino. Version 4. The Orient Bambino version 4 enchants 2025 as a domed dial darling veiled as vintage Vacheron vibes. Its 40.5mm stainless steel case, 11.8mm slim, with mineral crystal housing, a champagne sunburst dial with Roman numerals that gleams like a patrimony pretender, retailing at $250 via Orient. Calm with 20% resale pops to $300 for its F67-2 automatic, hacking handwind, that outsweeps Rolex Datejusts 3235 in thrift tenacity, per 2025 reviews dubbing it the Bambino Bard for 90% Vacheron visual vibe at 5% tag. Powered by the 22-jewel F67-220 21,600 VPH with 40-hour reserve it sweeps plus 15 seconds daily via DiaShock buffers, date at 3 o'clock under domed crystal for calendar curvature, fixed bezel ceiling 30 meters for cufflink charisma. The brown leather strap faux croc at 21mm lugs caresses 7.25-inch wrists at 120 grams with pin buckle, quick release for mesh makeovers, while the solid caseback etches Orient's orb like a secret seal. Debuted in 2018 as Bambino's version 4 Virtuoso, this automatic nods 1950s dress dynasty with radial rays blooming from gold to glow under halogens, forums feting its patrimony on a pauper's purse that shrugs desk dives without drama, with 2025 updates adding blue dial variants for bolder blues. At $250, it underbids Tissot Carson in loomless luxury, aligning with 2025's Roman revival via eco-leather. The numerals applied gleam pierces peripheral poise, the caliber's hacking, conquering, set-second serenity, a classical crucible where every facet foretells finesse that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's dress deluge, the Bambino version 4 blooms beautifully, a leather-laced legacy fusing 50s finesse with automatic authenticity, empowering aesthetes with wrist-worn wit that appreciates as timelessly as it adorns, beating Rolex with Roman royalty at 5% the hype. Number 9. Citizen Tsuyosa NJ0150. The Citizen Tsuyosa NJ0150 Oisho accelerates 2025 as an integrated insurgent that ignites Rolex Oyster perpetual envy, its 40mm stainless steel case 7mm slim with faceted bezel housing. A yellow sunray dial with baton markers that gleams like a 24-300 in disguise, retailing at $450 via Citizen outlets with 20% resale pops to $540 for its 8210 automatic 40-hour reserve that outticks OP's 3230 in Japanese jewel, per 2025 Fratello Heat dubbing it the Tsuyosa Triumph for 90% OP visual vibe at 6% tag. Powered by the 21-jewel A210 21,600 VPH with hacking and hand-winding it sweeps plus 20 seconds daily via DiaShock dampeners, date at 3 o'clock under sapphire crystal, fixed bezel flowing into bracelet for seamless sport at 50 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for shower shakedowns. The stainless bracelet integrated at 20mm lugs, clasps 7-inch wrists at 120 grams with butterfly clasp, quick-release pins inviting rubber for sporty swaps, while the exhibition back unveils the rotor's rhythm like a budget Audemars. Debuted in 2021 as Citizen's integrated incursion, this NJ0150 nods 1970s NH299 dynasty with radial rays blooming from yellow to yolk under halogens, forums feting its OP on offer that shrugs desk dives without drama, with 2025 updates adding 37mm variants for slimmer silhouettes. At $450, it underbids Oris Aquis in integrated allure, aligning with 2025's Sunray Surge via Eco Hairsprings. The indice's faceted gleam pierces peripheral poise, the caliber's bidirectional winding conquering wrist winds, a sporty sonnet where every sweep scripts a subtle sleight of hand that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's integrated influx, the Tsuyosa NJ0150 quests quirkily, a steel sentinel fusing 70s heresy with Japanese subtlety, arming trendsetters with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as dynamically as they drape beating Rolex with 40mm perfection at 6% the hype. Number 8. Hamilton Khaki Field Murph. The Hamilton Khaki Field Murph marches 2025 as a cinematic sentinel that scans as vintage Rolex Explorer poise, its 38mm stainless steel case 11mm slim with drilled lugs housing a black dial with Morse code seconds track that evokes 1950s military minimalism. Street-priced $495 via JamaShop, with 20% resale surges to $594 for its H10 automatic, 80-hour reserve, that outendures Explorer's 3230 in field fidelity, per 2025 reviews dubbing it the Murph masterpiece for 90% Explorer visual vibe at 5% tag. Powered by the modified ETA C07.6111 25 joules at 21,600 VPH with Nivai shock absorbers. It sweeps plus for 15 seconds daily, luminous cathedral hands glowing green for crepuscular clarity under sapphire crystal. Date at 3 o'clock. Parsing calendars, sans clutter at 100 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for trail treks. The black leather strap faux distressed at 20mm lugs grips 7-inch wrists at 120 grams with tang buckle. Quick release for NATO swaps evoking Murphy's Martian maneuvers, while the caseback's solid shield etches filmic flair like a Hollywood hallmark. Downsized in 2023 from 42 mm for wearable wormholes, this Murph miniaturizes military metal with radial textures shifting from coal to cosmos under halogens. Forums featuring its Explorer on an expedition budget that shrugs 40,800 AM magnetism. At $495 Street, it underbids Longines Spirit in Lume longevity, 12-hour glow, aligning with 2025's cinematic surge via LWG leather. The second's coded clicks narrate narrative nuance. The caliber's extended reserve conquering weekend wind downs, a field fable where every facet foretells fortitude that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's rugged renaissance, the Khaki Field Murph maneuvers masterfully, a steel storyteller fusing sci-fi saga with campaign clarity, empowering explorers with wrist-worn epics that appreciate as steadily as they endure, beating Rolex with 80-hour autonomy at 5% the hype. Number 7. Tissot PRX Powermatic 80. The Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 pulses 2025 as an integrated insurgent that ignites AP Royal Oak envy. Its 40mm stainless steel case, 10.9mm slim, with faceted sides housing an ice blue waffle dial with baton markers that gleams like Genta's genius, retailing at $775 via Tissot. Calm with 35% resale surges to $145 for its Powermatic 80, 80-hour reserve. That outticks Royal Oak's 4302 in mechanical merit per 2025 Hodinkee Heat, crowning it the PRX pinnacle for 95% Oak visual vibe at 25% tag. Powered by the ETA-derived Powermatic 80 23 joules at 21,600 VPH with Nivacron hairspring, it sweeps plus 10 seconds daily via silicon balance, date at 3 o'clock under sapphire with AR coating, fixed bezel flowing into 5-link bracelet, that clasps 7-inch wrists at 140 grams with butterfly deployant. The bracelet's brushed polished links channel luxury lug-to-lug, quick-release pins inviting rubber for sporty swaps, while the caseback's solid shield etches Tissot's heritage. Relaunched in 2021 with auto upgrade, this PRX nods 1978's original, with waffle textures blooming from azure to Arctic under LEDs, forums feting its oak on offer that shrugs 4,800 AM magnetism. At $775, it underbids Audemars Aquis in integrated allure, aligning with 2025's Waffle Wave via Nivacron non-mag. The indice's faceted gleam pierces peripheral poise, the caliber's extended reserve conquering weekend wind downs, an integrated insurgent where every sweep scripts a subtle sleight of hand that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's integrated influx, the PRX Powermatic 80 Pulse is paramount. A steel sentinel fusing 70s heresy with Swiss subtlety, arming trendsetters with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as dynamically as they drape beating Rolex with 80-hour autonomy at 25% the hype. Number 6. Seiko Prospex SPB 143. The Seiko Prospex SPB 143 resurfaces 2025 as a heritage heirloom that sinks Rolex Submariner suspicions. Its 40.5mm stainless steel case, 13. 1 mm thick with crown guards, housing a gray sunburst dial with sword hands that gleams like a 124060 sibling, discounted $800 via Jama Shop with 28% resale surges to $124 for its 6R35 automatic, 70-hour reserve. That outtanks Submariner's 3230 in Japanese Jewel per 2025. Teddy Baldessari data, crowning it the 62 Mayes Modern Miracle for 95% sub-visual vibe at 8% tag. Powered by the 24 Jewel 6R35 21600 VPH with hacking and hand-winding on its sweeps, blew between 5-15 seconds daily via Diashock buffers, date at 3 o'clock under curved sapphire crystal, unidirectional 120-click bezel, rotating for elapsed epochs at 200 meters water resistance via screw-down crown and ISO certification for saturation stings. The stainless bracelet oyster style at 20mm lugs clasps, 7-inch wrists at 180 grams with deployant clasp, solid end links channeling crown contours for seamless submergence, quick release for NATO swaps. Debuted in 2020 as the 62 Mayes reimagined, this SPB 143 nods 1965's Antarctic expeditions with radial rays blooming from slate to silver under halogens, forums feting its sub-sneak that shrugs reef rips without Rolex regret, with 2025 updates adding SPB 317 slim variants for slimmer silhouettes. At $800 discount, it underbids Tudor Pelagos in Lume Longevity, Lumi Bright Glowing Blue for 10 hours, aligning with 2025's Heritage Harvest VE Curved Sapphire. The bezel's aluminum click conquers currents, the caliber's extended reserve conquering weekend wind downs, a benthic ballad where every sweep scripts a siren song of submergence that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's Oceanic Odyssey, the SPB 143 resurfaces resplendently, a steel sovereign fusing 1965 fortitude with hydraulic harmony, arming aquaphiles with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they beguile beating Rolex with 200 Metaser ISO at 8% the hype. Number 5. Timex Marlin Automatic. The Timex Marlin Automatic Motors 2025 is a mid-century marvel veiled as vintage Omega Seamaster poise. Its 40-meter stainless steel case, 12 mm thick with exhibition, back housing a Navy Sunray dial with boxed numerals that gleams like a 1960s icon, retailing at $289 via Timex. Com with 15% resale bumps to $332 for its Miyota 8215 automatic that outsweeps Seiko 5 in American assembly, per 2025 reviews dubbing it the Marlin Magic for 90% Seamaster visual vibe at 10% tag. Powered by the 21 Jewel 8215 plus 21,600 VPH with 40-hour reserve at ticks plus 20 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners, date at 3 o'clock under domed acrylic crystal for vintage vault, fixed bezel ceiling 50 meters for shower shakedowns. The leather strap quick release at 20mm lugs caresses 7-inch wrists at 130 grams with tang buckle. It's SB. Foot tannage nodding American craft. Relaunched in 2017 as Marlin's Manual Manifesto, this automatic nods 1962's original with radial guilloche blooming from emerald to ebony under halogens, forums praising its hand-wind heirloom that trumps Seiko SNK in sweep second serenity. At $289, it underbids Orient Bambino in American assembly, aligning with 2025's manual mood via daily ritual. The numerals' boxed boldness pierces peripheral poise, the caliber's hand-crank conquering climatic clinks, a mid-century missive where every wind whispers wit that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's retro renaissance, the Marlin Automatic marches masterfully, a steel storyteller fusing Viscount vibes with automatic authenticity, empowering aesthetes with wrist-worn wit that appreciates as timelessly as they turn-beating Rolex with Marlin Magic at 10% the hype. Number 4. Casio G-Shock GA2100 Casio. The Casio G-Shock GA2100 Casio Octagons 2025 is a carbon core cult king veiled as Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore. It's 48.5 x 45.4 x ER11. 8mm resin revelation 50 wattage of sleek savagery. Housing an analog-digital hybrid with world time that gleams like a luxury pretender, retailing at $90 via Amazon with 35% resale surges to $134 for its quartz module with carbon core guard that outtanks AP's 4302 in thrift tenacity per 2025 high consumption, hailing it the Casio crown for 95% oak visual vibe at 1% tag. Powered by the Quartz Movement Ticking Plus 15 seconds monthly with 3-year SR726W, Reserve It deploys analog hands, digital sub-display, and 100-second chrono via double LED backlight, sealing 200 meters via carbon case for splash-proof sprints. The resin strap vented at 26mm lugs, grips 7.5-inch wrists at 51 grams with buckle clasp, quick release for metal mods, evoking Miami Vice magic. Debuted in 2019 as G-Shock's Slimline, this GA2100 nods AP's octagonal with carbon core blooming from matte to mirror under LED glow, forums feting its oak on offer that shrugs 15,000 Gauss magnetism. At 90 nice, it underbids Oris Aquis in slim sip, aligning with 2025's octagonal odyssey via carbon core. The hand's loom glow pierces peripheral poise, the module's dual-time conquering desk dives, a carbon colossus where every sweep scripts sleek survival that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's style surge, the GA2100 struts supremely, a carbon sentinel fusing octagonal audacity with G-Shock grit, arming trendsetters with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as accessibly as they adorn beating Rolex with Casio Conquest at 1% the hype. Number 3. Longines Hydro Conquest. The Longines Hydro Conquest surges 2025 as a dive dynamo, veiled as Rolex Submariner sophistication, its 41mm stainless steel case 12. 9mm thick with screw-down crown housing, a blue sunray dial with ceramic bezel that evokes 12.66620 LN's allure, retailing at $1,500 but discounted $1,200 via Jama Shop, with 15% resale stability at $1,380 for its L888 automatic, 72-hour reserve, that outtanks Submariner's 3230 in Swiss stamina. Per 2025 Luca and Romeo data, crowning it the Hydro Air for 90% sub-visual vibe at 12% tag. Powered by the ETA-derived LA8825 joules at 25,200 VPH with silicon hairspring. It sweeps plus at 10 seconds daily via variable inertia balance, date at 3 o'clock magnified under sapphire with AR coating, unidirectional 120-click ceramic bezel, rotating for dive drama at 300 meters water resistance via screw-down crown and helium valve for saturation stings. The stainless bracelet oyster style at 21mm lugs clasps, 7.5-inch wrists at 170 grams with deployant clasp, solid end links channeling crown contours for seamless submergence, quick release for rubber swaps. Debuted in 2007 as Longines Modern Mariner, this Hydro Conquest nods 1963's Ploprof legacy, with radial rays blooming from azure to Arctic under halogens, forums feeding its sub on a stipend that shrugs reef rips without Rolex regret, with 2025 updates adding 39mm variants for slimmer silhouettes. At $200 discount, it underbids Tudor Pelagos in Lume Longevity, Super Luminova glowing blue for 10 hours, aligning with 2025's ceramic crest via silicon non-mag. The bezel's ceramic click conquers currents, the caliber's extended reserve conquering weekend wind downs, a benthic ballad where every sweep scripts a siren song of submergence that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's Oceanic Odyssey, the Hydro Conquest surges supremely, a steel sovereign fusing 2007 fortitude with hydraulic harmony, arming aquaphiles with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they beguile beating Rolex with 300 meters depth at 12% the hype. Number 2. Tudor Black Bay 58. The Tudor Black Bay 58 navigates 2025 as a vintage Voyager veiled as Rolex Submariner suspicions, its 39mm stainless steel case 11. 9mm slim with snowflake hands, housing a black gilt dial with domed crystal that evokes 555 of 13mm sub-poise, retailing at $3,950 via Tudor's site, with 15% resale surges to $4,543 for its MT5400U Metas certified automatic, 70-hour reserve, that outtanks Submariner's 3230 in silicon stamina, 15,000 Gauss versus $1,000. Per 2025 Watch Charts data, crowning it the BB58 ballad for 95% sub-visual vibe at 38% tag. Powered by the 25-joule MT5400U 28,800 VPH with silicon hairspring. It sweeps plus 0.35 seconds daily via variable inertia balance, no-date purity under sapphire with AR coating, unidirectional 60-minute aluminum bezel, rotating for dive drama at 200 meters water resistance via screw-down crown and triplock seals. The riveted steel bracelet 20mm lugs. Clasps 7-inch wrists at 145 grams with T-Fit Micro Adjust 8mm extension, brushed flanks evoking Expedition edges, quick release for NATO swaps. Relaunched in 2018 as Tudor's Compact Conquest, this 58 nods 1954's Rafter 7924 with gilt accents patina golden under halogens, forums hailing its sub-shrink ray that shrugs reef rips without Rolex regret, with 2025 updates adding 5-link bracelet for female-friendly fit. At $3,950, it underbids Rolex Opaline in vintage vibe, aligning with 2025's gilt gradient via Meta's mastery. The snowflake's lume glows aquamarine, the movement's Paraflex absorbers devouring reef rips, a benthic ballad where every sweep scripts a siren song of submergence that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's Dive Dynasty, the Black Bay 58 sails supremely, a steel sovereign fusing 50s heritage with hydraulic harmony, arming aquaphiles with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they beguile beating Rolex with 39mm perfection at 38% the hype. Number 1. Grand Seiko Snowflake SLGA09. The Grand Seiko Snowflake SLGA009 snows 2025 as a spring drive symphony veiled as Rolex date just dazzle. Its 40mm titanium case, knee 11.8mm slim with Zaratsu polish housing a textured white dial that captures materials. Awadi snowflakes like a 12.6334's clean canvas, retailing at $9,300 via Grand Seiko boutiques with 20% resale surges to $11,160 for its 9RA2 spring drive that outsweeps Datejust's 3235 in glide precision, plus 0.5 sec days plus 2 per 2025. Hodinkee Heat dubbing it the Snowflake Supreme for 95% DJ visual vibe at halftag. Powered by the 9RA2 dual spring drive with 120-hour reserve it glides via quartz-regulated torque, date at 3 o'clock under sapphire with AR coating, fixed bezel sealing 100 meters via screw-down crown for daily delight. The titanium bracelet 3-link at 20mm lugs clasps 7-inch wrists at 110 grams with trifold clasp. Zaratsu facets blooming from frost to fire under halogens, quick release for leather swaps. Debuted in 2021 as Snowflake's Titanium Triumph, this SLGA009 nods 1967's 62GS with textured topography shifting like Shiojiri seasons, forums feeding its date just on a dawn budget that shrugs 4,800 AM magnetism. At $9,300, it underbids Rolex Opaline in titanium thrift, aligning with 2025's spring drive surge via 5-day reserve. The texture's tactile triumph pierces peripheral poise, the caliber's glide conquering quartz quibbles, a snowy sonnet where every sweep scripts serenity that beats popular brands' pretension. In 2025's luxury lift, the Snowflake SLGA009 snows supremely, a titanium titan fusing Zaratsu Zenith with spring drive sorcery, empowering Epicureans with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as elegantly as they endure, beating Rolex with a 120-hour glide at half the hype.